I'm gonna tell y'all exactly how you should talk to contractors that are on your rehab projects. I'm Ross, been flipping houses for 15 years. I've done over 300 of them. I own 150 rentals, and I've hired hundreds of contractors, send out literally three figures of contractor 1099s in a year. Okay, so point is, deal with a lot of them. And in my community, okay, I see some of you guys are posting videos about like what this contractor did, and you're like, oh, should I pay him for this work, or, what should I do? All right. Well, here's the way to think about it. Okay. There are universal rules that all contractors know. Here's a specific example. I was going to show the video, but I didn't want to take the guy's footage and use it. But it was a drywaller. And this guy, he did the worst job I've ever seen. All right. Guy calls himself a drywaller, and he's used mesh tape at the top of the wall where it meets the ceiling. All right. You can't use mesh tape there. Mesh tape has a specific reason to use it. It's not there. You need the actual paper tape. It binds the stuff together and gives it the strength that it needs, and so on and so forth. So use mesh tape. Doesn't know what the hell he's doing, right? On the corners, doesn't even use corner beads like the metal corner beads, or there's plastic ones, or you could tape them. But he just used mud. It's going to break off as soon as somebody rubs their shoulder on it. It was cracking all over the place. I mean, it was a miserable job. They didn't even mix the mud up right, so you could see clumps in it. Obviously a crappy job. Okay, so that is a universal rule. If you call yourself a drywaller, or you get hired to do drywall work, that kind of thing is expected of you. Okay, meeting certain universal standards on what workmanlike behavior is totally reasonable for you to expect out of somebody without having to explicitly say it. However, there are preferences, user preferences, that you do need to explicitly say. Now, I have talked about this so many times that you need to set expectations correctly, which means three ways. All right. So when I meet a contractor on a job site, to show him a grouping of jobs, a chunk of jobs that I want him to do. I always have them do chunks. I don't usually have people do like one job at a time, because when I chunk them together, I get better prices. Also, I have less touches. I only have to go there and check when they get done with the work and they want their payment. So anyway, one more thing, their payment comes after they've done the work, in case I run into this drywall situation. That way I have the power, because the money is the power. So I have the power to say, nah, man, I'm going to need that done correctly here. Okay, but going back to the preferences. Okay, there are preferences like, for instance, when LVP gets done in a house, it's very important to me that the LVP flows throughout the whole house. So what a lot of contractors might do, because it's a little bit easier, and there's other reasons they might do this, but they'll do transition strips at the doors. Going into a room, they'll stop the LVP, they'll put a transition strip in, and then they can do each room separately. Okay, it's a user preference of mine and general good practice for them to flow it through. That makes the house feel more like, instead of a grouping of rooms, it makes it feel like a house. Okay, I like that. I think it adds a little bit of value, at least in the tenant or the buyer's mind. It makes it feel more cohesive. Okay, that's a user preference. So that's something that I'm going to explicitly say in these expectation meetings at the beginning of a project. Another thing is paint on door hinges. Okay, that should be a universal rule, but I always explicitly point that out. If you get paint on the door hinges, I'm going to make you scrape it off. It drives me nuts. It's a thing that you could totally avoid if you did it right. Lots of other user preferences. I like this door as opposed to that other door. I like this thing and that thing. Okay, so when I meet somebody at a project to get a job set up, I give them all my preferences, and I do it three ways. One is verbal. I tell them, of course. Two is it's written, because I have my scope of work. We write it out. And then I make a video with them. Okay, we walk through the property and we say, hey, remember, no transition strips. I want this to flow correctly. Just making sure you got that. We're going to do this thing. We're going to do that thing. We're doing LVP. We're doing paint. We're doing the drywall. And the video is made with them, and then I send that video to them to get my bid back, right? So they have the verbal and the written and the video. That is what they're giving me a bid based upon. And that way, when they ask me for the payment, we can go look at those things and make sure that, of course, they did the thing right, and also that I'm right. I have 20 jobs going on or 20 projects going on. I might forget some of the preferences that I gave to them. I may forget the scope of work that I gave to them. Maybe I thought I was having this guy do the trim paint as well, but I wasn't. I was actually having somebody else come in for that thing. Sorry about that. No, I don't expect that from you. Okay, so they can hold me accountable. I can hold them accountable. And when I get their price, it is based upon those things that we clearly, explicitly talked about. And also at that point, I'm going to get their pay schedule. So once again, I never pay for something up front. They're not going to get money up front. Even if they tell you they need money for materials and all that stuff, fine. If you don't want to pay for the material, I totally understand. I wouldn't do that either if I were you. So we'll get a Home Depot Pro account set up, and now I can pay for the material. And actually, that's helpful. That's like a manager built in. You can see what they're buying and make sure that they're doing the things that you explicitly set out in your scope of work. Okay, so you're paying for the material. So yes, there's some risk. Of course, they could run off with the material, but whatever. There's always risk in every game. Okay, but actual labor payment, not going to do it till the labor is done. Okay, so now going back to the universal rules versus the user preferences. All right, the user preferences are very important because when they go and ask for this payment, universal rules for sure. Dude, mesh tape does not go here. There's nothing ever that you'll find that says that is the correct way to do this. Not using corner beads, not the correct way to do this. This is not going to hold up. I'm not going to accept that, and I'm sorry, I just can't pay for that. Okay, but here's what we can do. I don't want to screw anybody over. I know that you've done some hard work. I'm not in this business to burn bridges, okay? I want to give you the opportunity to fix this. I have a timeline that I need to keep, so I need you to do it quickly. It's going to be really hard for you to do this because now we're going to have to scrape off this mud that you messed up, and you're going to have to redo it. But I want to give you the opportunity first to do it. But if you're telling me no, I got to get somebody else to come in here, and whatever you were going to get paid, let's say it was $5,000 for that job. Well, it wasn't that. Maybe it was like $2,500 for that job. I'm going to get somebody else to come in here. I'm going to have them fix it. And whatever they charge me to do that, I'm going to deduct from that $2,500. Or once again, I'll give you the opportunity to do it first. Okay, universal rules and my user preferences that I explicitly said now become part of those universal rules that they absolutely have to follow, or I'm not going to pay. Now, I'm going to be a little bit more lenient on those things. Oh gosh, you forgot the transition. That's like really makes me mad, and it makes me maybe not want to hire you the next time, but fine. Don't want to burn any bridges here. I'm going to lean on the side of I'm in the wrong, not you. Okay, but the universal rules, sorry, come on, man. And so this video started with me saying how I talk to contractors. This is it, guys. Same voice, same tone. I take a lot of things on myself. Once again, if it's a user preference, I'm going to say it's okay. I understand. I'm going to give you the opportunity and all that kind of stuff. But wrong is wrong, and it's okay to say I'm sorry, I can't pay you. And you got to check yourself to make sure it truly is a universal thing. Okay. Don't go get some like new builderitis contractor that says, oh man, this ain't the way that my daddy taught me to do it, and it's just not right. Well, no, it's got to be like truly universal, guys. But anyway, it is absolutely okay to do that. And now I will hear some of you guys say, what if they put a mechanic's lien on the house? That can happen for sure. And this is where you'll find out whether you're in the wrong or not. But this drywall example, okay, get a bunch of pictures of it, get a bunch of videos of it. And if they truly try to put a mechanic's lien on the house, you might have to take them to small claims court. And any judge that saw that would be like, hey guy, you That's not drywall. Okay. And so I would not be concerned about that. I don't know, like I'm not the judge. Every courtroom I'm sure is going to be different, but I would not be concerned about that. If you're in the right, you're in the right. Make sure you're in the right. And, but truly, guys, they're maybe they would put a mechanic's lien on. I highly doubt it. Okay, that's like administrative work, and there's no contractor I know that is going to like go through that administrative work, especially if they're in the wrong like that. Okay, and I mean, it's business. So there are going to be times, most likely, that you're faced with a legal situation that you're going to have to handle. There are going to be obstacles like that you'll have to face, and it's going to be painful. You're not going to like it. But it's just part of doing business, guys. If you're doing this thing, you're a business owner, and business owners face hard decisions. They face hard things, and that's what separates you. Is that the opposite is you can go get a nice cushy job, and somebody else can be doing that, and somebody else can be making all the freaking money. Okay, that's the trade-off that you make for having the safe, soft, not scary kind of thing going on for you. In your own business, you're going to have to sometimes have a hard nose and say, nah, man, not going to happen here. Okay, not going to happen. Right now, I'm sorry to say this, Mr. Contractor, you're freaking wrong. I know you're wrong, and I'm standing my ground no matter what it takes. And it happens sometimes, but like all situations, the one that you've built up in your head, the way that's going to go down, it's not going to be nearly as bad as that. That's almost always how it turns out. So don't worry about it. Stand your ground, but also make sure you're being reasonable. All right. If you're being an a-hole, like, nah, come on, man, get out of here. Okay, guys, these kind of questions come up in my free For Now school community. That's how I get to these things. I answer questions like that, specific questions on specific projects for people who are in that community. The link's in the description. Join it, check it out, come say hi. And if you don't want to do that right now, check out this video right here. Talk to you guys soon.